Hello everyone, this is FDV vladerag here to bring you another game from the RSL, this time between Lucifron as Green Terran in the top right versus Thorzain as the Blue Terran in the bottom left. The map is Keru or Keru. We're going with Keru. Okay, it's Keru. I don't care what it actually is. It's Keru. Apparently, achievements have been disabled until further notice. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Anyways, if you're wondering why so many matches from the RSL recently, it's because I'm attempting to cast the entire tournament. Why? Because I want to. Why not? Look, it's fun. It just seems like a good idea to me. Why not do it? The games are amazing. The players are amazing. I love it. And I know that at least one or two of you like it as well. I mean, hey, again, all 8 of my subscribers, hi. That's just how it is. Excuse me. Wow. Tickle in my throat. Either way, TvT is not something I'm very familiar with. I will confess, I have already seen this replay. I'm sorry. Look, sometimes I just can't help myself. You know, it's like 2 a.m. and you're just sitting there thinking, oh god, I'm so tired. But I want StarCraft, but I'm too tired to play. What am I gonna do? And you're like, well, I've got like 6 dozen replays sitting by, and let's just watch a TvT. So yes, I've seen the replay. Eek. Sorry, it might help me do a better cast. Never got anything back on the other ones that I sort of did a warm cast with. But we'll see. I can already tell you that this match is unlike anything I've really ever seen before, but that's probably because I don't often watch a lot of TvT. And even more than that, you know what, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You will indeed see. Either way, we're having fairly standard play out from both players. Orbital coming down. We do have harassment going on here. Is he going to lose that SCV? I feel like he might. Nope, that SCV there decides to switch positions. He will get that barracks finished. Perfect timing there from Thorzain, as one would expect from his level of play. But oh no, that SCV is in trouble if he is not repaired shortly. And he is... oh, he loses the SCV constructing that. And will he lose that one too? No, he does not. He does manage to save that SCV just barely by repairing it in time. This SCV is the hero SCV with the kill. And the SCV harassment does continue. There is the Marine. Will be chasing that SCV off. You have a Marine coming over here. Will be attempting to do some damage. Not sure if it can do much, but that Reaper following it will certainly be able to back it up. We do have 2 Marines though over here. I do not know if Reaper Marine beats Marine. I would say usually not, but if that, well, maybe. I guess it does depend. Reapers might be able to I guess Marine Reaper beats Marine. That is actually good to know. That is actually good to know. Either way, that does mean that Lucifron is starting out with a very slight lead over Thorzain. Very, very slight. I think our units killed here. Yep, we do have 2 units killed for Thorzain versus the 3 of Lucifron, meaning that he's just very, very slightly ahead. Either way, I do feel like that will be coming to an end soon with that Hellion out. That is one doomed Reaper, and it knows it. However, the information he gathered might be more valuable than the Reaper's life, namely that Hellion out in front, and you can already see that there is a tech lab. This was switched here before. The factory was building a tech lab. It was switched with that to produce the Banshee. We already have factories on the way here, and double Hellion production has occurred. Orbital command coming up here on the high ground just to be safe. Finally, the command center is coming down for Thorzain, who did opt to go for that Banshee before. We'll see if he is able to make it work. I do not think really he will be able to. We don't see many Banshees in this, but this is pre-patched, I believe. In this version, there is Hellion or Hellbats don't need blue flame to do their extra damage, and Banshees, I believe their cloak, of course, is already off that, but indeed their cloak does cost more. Thorzain does barely get the better end of that deal. just losing 2 Marines to that 1 Hellion there. That is very, very slightly in Thorzain's favor. The difference is, of course, extremely minor. I mean, I'm not even sure if it matters. We do have Marines already here. This reminds me of, oh my gosh, where did that even, oh, there it is, hiding in between the gas. I didn't even see it myself, picking off that Banshee like it ain't no thing. The thing, I do remember reading once before that having a Hellion out in front was often a symbol or a signature of somebody going for a Banshee open. You don't really see Banshees anymore. That's just sort of sad, in my opinion. Banshees are certainly an interesting choice of tech. We do have a lot of Hellions out, though. We're going to be seeing immediately that Hellion not able to escape. And these 5 Hellions are going to be seeing what they can do. I don't think very much, because these Widow Mines can one-shot Hellions, and they are not going to be lost just like that. Not without Blue Flame. And with that Widow Mine there, any attempt to run by is going to lose something. That much is guaranteed. Almost loses a couple Hellions right there, or at least 1, maybe 2. I'm not quite sure how the splash damage would work out on that. On the other hand, we do have this command center already down, and workers transferring, meaning that Thorzain will be expanding that very slight lead he had before. He did give up a tad bit of a lead, losing that Banshee. I might even suggest that he did lose it, but with this harassment and able to get that up in time. What's this SCV doing? Do not know. He will have just the slightly better economy. Do have a worker transfer happening now. Those Widow Mines are in position to protect them. Now I feel like they should be fine, and a missile turret coming down against future threats. Oh my god, you know, I've never thought about it, I never noticed it before, but this might actually be a really great position for Reapers to just sort of, if anybody did that. I don't know, I've never actually seen anybody use Reapers this late in the game, very much, especially not when we have 2 obviously meching players. We do see that medevac just get taken out right there. Don't know if I actually mentioned that medevac on screen, but there was indeed one flying around, had 2 Hellbats in it. It was threatening these Hellions, sort of forcing them back a bit. I must confess, I'm not sure if the Hellions there are of any more purpose. They cannot break this, they really can't. Hellbats, I think, will beat Hellions in straight-up fights. They also have the upgrade advantage, very important there. Thorzain is going to be getting his armory, I believe, just up. I don't think he actually has one. He does not. This means that we're going to have a very strong advantage in the favor of Lucifron that might cost Thorzain the game, honestly. Because we're going to be looking at a 2-to-1 upgrade advantage, and that is not to be underestimated. Do see them trying to move in and take out that SCV. They will not be able to do it. I feel like he lost a bit there, and more importantly, they're now made of paper. These Vikings will be able to clean them up if they do land, but they do not, and the Hellions realize they have overstayed their welcome. 3rd Command Center is coming down for Lucifron as well. You could see that in the production tab if you were especially observant. Tanks and +1 on the way for Thorzain. I do indeed like how this game is shaping up. We do have double medevacs though out of Lucifron. What are these rallied to? We will find out. They are rallied to, whoa, that's a lot of Vikings. Woo! Where did those Vikings come from? Well, we know where they came from. Either way, those Vikings are going to get so lucky here. All of a sudden, that command center is just in the worst position possible, going to be landing. Will it just barely survive? I do believe it does. Do have these Vikings engaged. Those Vikings were not in a very good position, and those Hellbats will be moving in and be able to kill off that command center. I do not know. I think that command center finally is going to bite the dust. We do have those Hellions moving in. These Vikings are going to land. Oh, there's the siege tank taking advantage of them in their landed state. All of a sudden, this battle is getting extremely interesting. Hellbat Viking, landed Viking versus Marine, or versus, oh, and there's the Hellbat drop, if you can believe that, right in the middle of them, and we do have SCVs on the field to repair these Hellions. And it does look like Thorzain is going to win the ground game, but lose the air battle. do have these Vikings here, will not be able to be opposed as long as they are in the air, except for the Thor right there, going to have to get those Vikings the heck out of there, or that Thor will begin to tear them to shreds. Thor's, of course, not necessarily best for dealing with Vikings, but they certainly are. I mean, hey, they shoot up. That's all we really need for right now. Either way, in the midst of this command center is done. And this, we do have a double expand coming up from Thorzain, who did have his first expansion denied entirely. And we are going to be seeing these two just come in, pick off that Viking. But will it matter with this army moving across the field? I feel like he has to be very careful. He does have these Widow Mines in nice positioning, but it won't matter. One scan and the siege tanks will rip them to shreds as well. Those Hellbats are going to be moving up there, trying to see if they can scout a third base. There will not be one there. It does look like Lucifron is going to be taking this expansion right here. I feel that is a little tad open, but whatever, because we have Hellbat drops. Oh my goodness, Lucifron, you cheeky devil. Hellbat drops going on everywhere at once. What am I looking at? This entire army has to be recalled across the map to deal with this threat. We do have just barely Thorzain just trying to deal with it. Oh, there it goes. Those Vikings, of course, more than capable of tearing that to shreds. Viking kill squad not going to let these Hellbats make it out alive, but already these Hellbats are doing quite a bit of damage, especially to these depots. Look at that. Double hitting both of them. Very important. They will he be able to get that depot? He will not. Probably going to be repaired quite easily. Why is he there? I do not know. What I do know is we have Vikings coming in over here, immediately going to be spotted, of course, by Thorzain, who has an army poised over here. We do have these forces here, and he does have more and just better HP Vikings. Of course, the question is who lands first. I just feel like he can keep this army up, these Vikings up, and bring in a ground force of some kind, and all of a sudden Lucifron won't be able to do anything. He has to land these or he's in trouble. Oh my gosh, who will win this battle? I do think, yeah, indeed, Thorzain does manage to clean it up. Lucifron should have tried to run away. Don't think he could have, and anyways, quite distracted, because all of a sudden the exposure of this backside has become obvious. These siege tanks going to town on this expansion, and indeed over here in the top we do have another attack going on the fourth base, not going to even make it to the orbital stage, as these do try to engage, but will they be able to accomplish anything? Does look like they will be pushing back, but I don't think they'll be able to push back far enough. Those siege tanks are quite capable of holding their ground. This is effectively stopped mining altogether on this base, and indeed he just managed to save this command center, but to what point? We do have all these bases already down for Thorzain, who's easily managed to continue to expand as this is going on. Oh my goodness, these tanks will be cleaned up now. Very good with that. But these are just, oh my goodness. Vikings in this are just so hard to kill. Either way, they are going to land. Oh my goodness, look at that. Whew. Gotta love that idea. Landing the Viking on the low ground and using that one to spot for them on the high ground. Going to be harassing that worker line even more. And if you hear weird shuffling sound, that is because I am rolling around in excitement. Oh my god. I gotta say, this is a slower paced game than what we're used to in ZVZ, especially in, like, you know, PV whatever. All of those things is a much slower game with two. Oh god, another drop happened. Is that even a drop? Did he just walk him by? I don't know. Not really. Even with how this game is sort of slower, still difficult to keep up with the madness which is Grandmaster Pro play. Though for some reason I want to say Lucifron's a diamond. Maybe it was Thorzain. I don't know. I do not know. What I do know is that usually being like diamond or master, it doesn't even matter because half these people don't even ladder as much as you would expect anyways. And you can't stay in Grandmaster League unless you spend a certain amount of time active. So not necessarily would all pros have to be, you know, Grandmaster or Master level. Doesn't mean they're not that skilled, though. Anyway, we are seeing Lucifron sort of taking a supply lead here, despite the fact that he's almost had no bases this entire time. Just basically, I don't even know how to describe it. I guess he's been risking a bunch here. We do have the SCVs from that base over there deciding to hide out over here by this refinery. He might want to move this back. It's going to scan, realize there's nothing here except that refinery. Now there is nothing whatsoever, but in the meantime he's in trouble. Will he be able to destroy everything? With siege tanks do just rip everything to shreds, but it will not be enough. All of a sudden there's an army just going into this main base. It's going to siege up. We do have landed Vikings. We've seen what they can do. It will not be enough. We do have those tanks going to town. All of a sudden, a lot more Vikings going to come in. Another siege tank will be raking up those kills. We have a battle going on over here, but he's going to repair it. That's a planetary fortress just out of range of shooting. Will not be able to do anything, but it doesn't matter because there was an army in his base. There was the GG. Well played. Mech games are slower, but that doesn't mean they aren't any more exciting. More like a game of chess than I don't even know how to describe the other games. They're more like micro-intensive. This was a very position game, I guess is how to call it. I love it. We're going on to game 2 in this best of 3 series from the RSL.